Okay, good evening, everybody. So we talked about jQuery in the last class. Now, let's talk about a concept called Ajax. Okay, and how jQuery is going to help, and then we'll look at few things here. So, Ajax. So far, we created a lot of web pages where you submit the form. Something like you are creating a new customer, okay? So you entered first name, last name, zip code, street address, and then do a submit, right? When you submit the form, this whole data is getting submitted to server, okay? And then when we get the new HTML back, the whole page is getting repainted. The whole page is getting reloaded, right? So if the page is decent size, it's going to take a couple of seconds to reload the whole page, right? All the content has to be redrawn and everything has to be reloaded. That's called synchronous processing, meaning you are waiting synchronous. synchronous. It's called synchronous processing, meaning once you click on a link here, okay, you're going to submit a button. You're going to the server. Server is going to give the HTML back or data back. And the whole page is going to be repainted or redrawn. And then your user here, whoever is sitting, whoever is sitting here, will be waiting while the whole page is getting redrawn. Whole page is getting loaded. That's what we have been seeing it. But with the Ajax, okay, here A plays bigger role, asynchronous. It's not synchronous anymore, it's called asynchronous. So asynchronous, it means that you have a page here, right? You have a whole HTML page. Let's say in this HTML page, there are a lot of sections, a lot of tables, a lot of divs, a lot of sections, but you want to update only a section of the page, only a small portion of the page, okay? And then the point here is that the whole form is not getting submitted. The whole page will not be redrawn. Rather, only portion of the page. Actually, what happens here is that in this whole HTML, there is a small 1 pixel by 1 pixel. A small portion of it will be submitted. It will go to the server. It will go to the server again, like here. Okay, and then server will respond back with the data. Once it gets the data, it is actually going to redraw whatever the portion that you want to draw it. Let's say the contact information has been changed. You want to update just the contact information without having to reload the whole page. You don't have to reload the images. You don't have to reload the JavaScript. You don't have to reload all the sections of the page. Only those sections will be repainted because you are going to change them. How can you do it? .html. In a plain simple JavaScript document.getElement by ID, once you get a inner HTML using jQuery, you can do it. Once you select it .html, you can change the HTML of that particular section, of that particular div, or that particular table, or that particular UL, unordered list or ordered list, whatever that one is. So that small portion of the page can be repainted. And user can do other things in the page. It's happening asynchronously. It is not blocking you from doing other things, and whenever you get the data back from the server, only that section will be repainted. Your user experience will be much, much, much better. I'm sure you have seen this Ajax in a lot of places, especially one of them would be every single one of us go to google.com and then type for jQuery. See here, look at it. This is the whole page, right? This is the whole page. When I type J, you know what happened here? When I type J, behind the scenes, the whole page leaves as is. But behind the scenes, this J has been sent to the server, and asked server, hey, give me the results that starts with J, the most popular ones or whatever it is. So I got Jimmy John's, Jurassic World, Jets Pizza, JCPenney. So now I'll say Q, or let's say U. Now it sent JU to the server. And then let's say now I got Jurassic World, Justin Bieber, Jurassic Park, Jupiter ascending. If I say JUP, Jupiter ascending, Jupiter grades, Jupiter Florida, or JUD, whatever. See it? So when I press R, once I'm done typing here, it's actually for every keystroke, every key up, that's called event. Okay, it's actually going to the server. It's taking whatever is here, okay, and then sending it to the server, and server is responding with the results, and then it is repainting just this portion here. All of this page is untouched. You're not reloading the whole page, right? It's not like when you submit, when you try to add the whole customer details once you click on submit, right? So at the time, the whole page is getting redrawn. So this is asynchronously happening. So it is sending this, whatever you typed here. So whatever you typed here is being sent to the server, and once it gets the results, it's actually repainting, redrawing this small section of HTML without having to redraw it. User experience is much, much, much better. And another one is I think we have all seen this one. So let's do an account here. See here, choose your username. I'm trying to create a new Google account. Okay, see here, I wanted to say, once I go out of it, once I lose the focus, look at it. The whole page did not get submitted. The whole page is still the same. But as soon as I come out, it took all of these details to the server, and then it came back. It came back, and it's saying that someone already has that username. Try another. See that? Oh, 998 exists for me to take it. So how does it know that this user already exists? As soon as I move out of it, it actually took this one, went to the server and verified, and server came back and said that, hey, he can't take this user ID because it's already been taken. And now it's just displaying this error message without having to repaint this whole page. Only this is getting updated, saying that, hey, sorry, this username has already been taken. This is asynchronous. The whole page is not getting redrawn. To earlier, whenever we go to the server, we were not being able to go to server without sending the whole form. So now with Ajax, you can go to the server asynchronously, meaning without having to wait for the user to without having to block the user from doing other stuff on the page. Okay, it went and came back whenever it comes back. Once it gets the results, I'll keep doing my other stuff, but once it gets the result, it will just repaint it here based on the event. Got it? This is Ajax. It actually stands for asynchronous JavaScript and XML. It actually stands for asynchronous JavaScript and XML. So it's an asynchronous JavaScript and XML, but this was introduced or this was created when XML was so popular. But now XML, as we all know, it's just a data format. So XML will be sent from server to the client, or client to the server, or from one application to another XML, one application to another application. XML is just a data format to send the data from one application to another application, or from one page to another page, or from server to client, client to server, etc. But with the modern Ajax, okay, the preferred data format now is not XML anymore. People are not favoring XML anymore. There is one more data format called JSON. JSON stands for JavaScript Object Notation. It's called JavaScript Object Notation. So in XML, we have like this, right? Customer, you have first name, John, and your closing tag, last name, John Smith, right? You have your city, Troy. And then close your customer. So this is how XML looks. We all know that. Okay. In the case of JSON, it's called JavaScript Object Notation. So this is like JavaScript objects. In JavaScript objects, you have this your curly braces, and here within this customer object, you have your properties, right? So you have your first name. Okay, this is your property name. This is your first name, and your key. This is called key. Your key will be in double quotes and then colon and then value, whatever the value is. Here in this case, John. Oh, my handwriting. First name is John. And then comma. The second one is last name, Smith. City, colon, Troy. So except the last property, all of these key value pairs are actually separated with comma. And then every object will have these curly braces. So you'll have your customers colon, and then this is your whole object. Okay, this is your customer object. Here in this case, customer object has three properties, and you have three properties here. First name, John, your key colon value, key colon value, key colon value. This is called JavaScript object notation. This is how JavaScript object notation is. Okay, this is XML, and this is JSON. This is called JSON. It's like pronounced like JASON, JSON, but it's actually JavaScript object notation. Okay. The JavaScript objects look actually. The reason they call it JavaScript object notation is because they look exactly like JavaScript objects. This is how the JavaScript objects typically look. Your property name, property value, property name, property value. And if you have arrays, okay, arrays actually start with these boxed brackets. Okay, if you have more than one customer, then you have comma here, and then you have one more object here, comma, one more object here. You will have your attributes, key value pairs within these curly braces. This is an object. This whole thing is an object. Whatever you put it inside is an object. Whatever you put it inside is an object. And then all these objects are inside these array brackets, right? And each object is actually separated by comma. So actually now, with JavaScript being the most popular programming language in the world, okay, JSON is preferred to XML. The reason being that it's very easy to traverse through the JavaScript objects using JavaScript because this is very natural. It's a very natural language for JavaScript people to deal with it, and very natural for JavaScript to provide the parsers because this is JavaScript object. Okay, it's very natural for both JavaScript developers and also JavaScript engines to parse it. It's very natural. XML is like a foreign language, but JavaScript, they deal with the JavaScript objects every single day in JavaScript. That's why it's one of the reasons why it's preferred. And number two, look at it. XML is very verbose. This is very succinct version, very smaller version compared to XML. XML, you have your opening bracket, or opening node and closing node, opening node, closing node, opening node, closing node. It's way too much. It's not required. Here, it's very succinct. So when data is getting sent from, this is server, this is browser. When data is getting from server to browser, especially now with the mobile devices being so predominant, okay, every kilobyte of information is very crucial. Every bit of information is crucial, especially when you deal with the mobile devices, because the more bandwidth you receive, your mobile device receives it from the server. When you open a browser, when you open an app in an iPhone or an Android phone, okay, if XML is received, let's say it's let's say it is 20% more payload or more data than JSON, then it has to consume it. It has to load it into memory. Then obviously, main problem there is battery. For all the mobile devices, the battery is crucial. So that's why it wants to deal with as minimal information as possible, or as minimal data as possible, or as succinct data format as possible, to put it the right way. It doesn't want to deal with a verbose data structure like XML. So every bit is important. So that is why for these, mainly for these two reasons, JSON is favored in these JavaScript frameworks, JavaScript libraries like jQuery. It's called Web 2.0, especially with Ajax. It's called Web 2.0. Web 1.0 is all submitting the whole form, retrieving, repainting the whole page, all that stuff. But with Ajax, you don't have to do that. Get the data, repaint only the portion of the page. Okay, and another data format that we all know is HTML. So you can receive the data in Ajax world. You can receive either HTML or XML. Once you receive HTML, you just paint it as is. But why do you want to? The another interesting point I wanted to mention here is that HTML is only for the browsers, right? Why do you want to deal with all the HTML tags, all the look and feel information on the server side? The server side just deal with the data without having to worry about how it's going to be displayed. Why do you care about how it's going to be displayed on the browser side? You care about the data. Okay, customer contains first name, last name, city, and a bunch of addresses, bunch of phone numbers. Okay, send it across. How it's going to be displayed is up to the client. Let him handle on the browser side, meaning on the HTML, JavaScript, you deal there. So let server give only the data. So obviously HTML is not favored in that approach. So obviously XML and JSON. So these two, and obviously JSON is more favorable solution because of because here you are using any one of the JavaScript libraries to parse it. Then it's more natural for us to parse it in JavaScript because it's JavaScript object notation. It's a JavaScript objects. We deal with that every day. And number two, it's succinct. It's shorter. The payload is smaller. It's called the payload. The payload is nothing but the data that comes from the server to browser. In fact, from browser to server too. This is called when data goes from browser to server, it's called request payload. Server to browser is called response payload. So the payload is smaller. It's good, especially on mobile devices. We may not care between 20 KB and 25 KB in laptops and desktops. We don't care much, but in your phone, if you make those kind of requests, obviously you have to keep in mind your battery. Right? So more data, more bandwidth, more processing power, more consumption of the battery. Right? So that's about Ajax and what are all the formats it takes. And especially jQuery-like libraries make it a lot easier to deal with this JSON data and also to make the request as an asynchronously using Ajax. So it makes Ajax calls, writing Ajax calls, get the data, repaint it. So JavaScript makes it a lot easier. But under the hood, if I strictly talk about the regular JavaScript and HTML without talking jQuery, browsers use for Ajax, they use this object called XML HTTP request. Okay, to send the data to the server using Ajax or asynchronously, it uses this object, but we don't have to deal with these objects using jQuery. I'm going to show you how we do it. It's pretty simple. Any questions? This is one of the popular interview questions too. They ask you, hey, what's the difference between XML and JSON, and why would you use in what situations? XML has definitely, in my opinion, XML still has place in a complex data structure and where bandwidth doesn't matter. And if you want very stricter contract, in XML, you have something called XSD, XML schema definition. In XML schema definition, you define all the contracts, what nodes you want to have it, in what order, etc., etc. You can provide all the grammar rules. JSON is not quite there yet, but especially JSON makes a lot of sense for JavaScript based applications because it's more natural for them to use it or construct it or parse it, and then obviously the payload size. Now, any questions? If not, let me show you an example. Okay. So I created a project called Ajax. Okay. And then on the server side, so I'm not talking about the server side code today. That's why I asked you guys to look at the RESTful web services. Even if you did not, no big deal. Okay. Go and watch it again. And on Sunday, we'll take a look at an example on the server side. But somehow, I did some magic, assuming we don't know anything about the server because this class, let's not talk about the server side. But I did some magic here on the server side. Some URL I'm requesting from the browser. So from the browser, my goal is to do it like a Google search page. Like it's called live search or autocomplete search, right? I want to do an autocomplete search or live search. Okay, so as you type, I want to send that information to the server, and now server will respond back with the search results. And I wrote this component already. Okay, I'm not going to talk about much how I did it, what's the configuration. I use something called RESTful web services for this one. RESTful web services. That is why I asked you to watch that video. If not, no big deal. You go ahead and go home and watch it. So I use this concept called RESTful web services and producing some JSON out of it. Okay? All you care is, what is the URL that I need to call? Once you call it, you get the data back as JSON. Let me show you how it's going to look. And then we are going to spend time here. Once we get the JSON, how can we parse it and get the data out of it and repaint it? Only that particular section without having to submit the whole form or without having to reload the whole page. How can we do it if server responds like it should? Okay, how can we use jQuery to actually make this request to the server, receive the data, JSON data, that server response, and then repaint it? Here is the goal. Created this project called Ajax, and then let's go ahead and start it. And I'll show you the controller here. It's called search controller, and you call it with /search, and then there is a request parameter called key. You give me the key, right? You give me the key, and it's a product name. Let's say it's a product name. So I'm doing a product search here. Okay. See, I have these products here. I just have iPad, iPhone, Apple Watch Pro, Apple Watch Gold, Apple Watch New, all of this stuff, right? I know all Apple stuff. So we'll add more products right now. But what I'm doing here is that if you give me okay, and then here I'm checking if it starts with, I'll get all these products. I'm looping through each product. If it starts with that character or set of characters, then I'm returning it. I'm putting all of those results into a list of string and then I'm giving it. It's a simple Java code, right? If it starts with, so if I give I'll get iPad and iPhone because it starts with I. If I give I'll get all of this, Apple Watch Pro, all of this. But if I give APPLE, oh, these are all watches. Okay, then probably let's add more. Starts with A. It shouldn't be Apple, but it's something else. Any good ones? Any books that starts with A? Anyone?
Android tab.
Okay, Android tablet by Samsung. Android tablet. Okay, like that. Let's see. Now, Samsung Galaxy tab 4, tab 5, I don't know what. And then give me some books like Gone with the Wind. And give me some more books. Something like Pragmatic Programmer. Is it TT? Pragmatic Programmer.
1T.
What is that?
1T, not TT. Single T.
Okay, yeah. Thank you. Thank you. So all of these products, right? So, okay, let's do it. I'll do a local host / jQuery. Is it called? No, jQuery. It's called Ajax. Okay, / search. Okay, I got 400 because I did not give any key. I have to give a request parameter, key equal to, let's say, S. Oh, actually, so here in the URL, I need to specify what type do I need it. Do I want XML? If I want XML, I know XML looks like it's not working because I don't have the corresponding JAXB objects. So let's do with JSON, .json. Whatever you want it, you just ask for it. If you want JSON, you just give your extension .json, and then you will get like this. So string list is an object, okay? And this is your key, and then look at it. This is array. You have your array here, and within that array, you have one element called Samsung Galaxy Tab 5. Okay, let's give I. If I give I'm getting another string list, iPad and iPhone. It's an array here. Look at it. It's an array, and within that array, I have two strings, okay? And this whole thing is an object here. So every JavaScript object will have this curly braces open, curly braces closed. Within that, you have a key and a value. So key is string list here. It's automatically, if you have a list of strings, Spring MVC automatically construct this string list, and then it gives you that whole list of string or array here. So array of strings. And how do I know it's array? It's this using that array bracket. Okay, and now let me give A here. Once I give A, I got Android tablet by Samsung, Apple Watch. Let me give Apple Watch, Apple Watch Pro, Apple Watch Gold, Apple Watch New. So let me give AN. Then I got only Android tablet by Samsung. You got the idea? See here, I'm putting the search keys, whatever I'm doing it here, right? So how about Apple Watch? Now I only got Apple Watch Gold, Apple Watch New, because the other ones are uppercase there. Okay? Simple. You got the concept, right? Now, in this class, we are not talking about how we got this one. How do we do that? What do I need to get the JSON? All of that is part of the server side lesson, which is RESTful web services. Using RESTful web services, you can do it. It's not a big deal. It's a small thing. So you can watch that video, and we'll do one more example on the server side on Sunday, last class. Okay? So, but now, once we get the JSON, how can we, once we get the JSON object here, JavaScript object here, or once we get the JSON, how can we parse that and put it properly? How can we make it like a Google search, kind of Google search, if not? Okay. So what we will do is, first of all, we need a JSP page. We need a JSP page where we can type, right? Where we will have a text box or search box where you can type it. Once you type it, you can go to the server, right? So for that, what we will do is we'll go to the same search controller and we'll say public string, I'll say give me the search form, right? Give me the search form. I'll say search. So take me to a search.jsp and what's the URL going to be? What's the URL going to be? I'll say search form. Sure, search form, whatever. This is the first page. So if somebody calls with /search form, we will take them to search JSP. It's a simple Spring MVC stuff. So, and I need a search.jsp in my views. We know that this is like a views or JSP in your RESTful. Oh boy. In your Spring config XML. In your Spring config XML, my view resolver is taking prefix as /webinf/views and the suffix is .jsp. So that is why I need the JSP in views. Okay. So far we know about internal resource view resolver. This is a new view resolver called content negotiation view resolver, meaning if you ask for HTML will be written. If you ask for JSON, JSON will be returned. If you ask for XML will be returned. That is nothing but content negotiation view resolver. But don't worry about it. This is not a server-side class. So server-side class, we can talk about this one. Okay? So which is the RESTful web services video. Anyways, so my goal here is that if somebody comes with /search form, please take me to search.jsp page. Okay, so here we'll do something like input type equal to text, ID equal to, let's say, product search, name equal to product search as well, and we'll say that we'll have a label. We'll have a label for product search, and then we'll say that search for products. Okay, let's see how it looks. And now we need to go to not search, but it's called search form, and see Okay, search for products. That's how it's looking at this point. I think that's reasonable. But we can actually wrap this guy with containers, so to make it little better, to make it look better. Meaning, I'm talking about Bootstrap. You know that. Let me grab the Bootstrap stuff. So this is Bootstrap. We don't have this guy. Okay, we got the Bootstrap, and I need the jQuery and Bootstrap, these two guys. I want, we can do this one. No big deal. 1.11.12. I wanted to use 2 dot something, but that's okay. No big deal. Okay, that's it. Okay, and now let's put this guy in a div, and then we'll say, what do we say? Class equal to container, right? Yeah. Right. So we have the search box, and that's it. And we have a label, we have an input, but ideally, maybe we can go for that a little bit more. Where is that sign up? So where did we use the other classes, like form control? Remember, we have used the form controls. We don't have to use it really, but it may look slightly better. Remember, where is our bootstrap thingy? Is it in jQuery? Let's take a look at it. No. Doesn't matter really. I wanted to use the form control, but doesn't matter. This is looking okay. So okay, so we got search.jsp. Now we have jQuery, we have Bootstrap.js, and now we'll have our own JS, right? We'll call it Ajax.js, right? Create our own Ajax.js. I'll say source equal to slash Ajax slash JavaScript. This is my context name slash JavaScript is where I'm going to put it, and then Ajax.js. I'll use. Okay, and this is where we are going to write, document.ready. Let me grab that guy. We wrote here. So let me grab this guy. Ajax.js, document.ready. This is good. Yep. Okay. HTML DOM is ready, then this one will be called, right? So now what we want to do is that what event do we want to use it now? there is an event called, let me close all the other projects so that we'll be out of we want to work on one project at a time. So as we type it, exactly like Google, right? As we type it like this. So as we type it, it has to, this particular event has to be triggered, and that's called key up. So every time you key up, press something and key up, then that's it. That particular event gets triggered. So, and now key up on what? Key up on this guy, product search. So something with the ID product search, okay? And then dot key up. And here we'll have the function. This is the callback function. We all know that. So every single time you type something and key is up, once you finish typing, then this particular, for every keystroke, once you are done typing, okay, this particular method will be called, because this is called event handler. This particular event will be triggered, and the corresponding event handler, whatever you write here, will be called by jQuery every single time, every single letter you type within that search area. Once you are done typing it, it will go, it will go, it will go, it will go like that. Okay, every single time it will be called. Make sense? And now if you want to check console.log, I'm called, right? If you want to check this guy, and now go to function F12, let's go to console. Look at it. 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, 6 times. Again, see, even when I erase it, it's getting called every single time. Whatever you do here, every keystroke, once you are done typing that particular words, look at it. Even here, every single thing. Look at it, look at it. So look at the number here, right? These many times it's getting clicked. So you got it? So every single keystroke as you type it, and this gets called. Okay, now we got that this guy gets called. Now what we want to get is whatever has been typed here, let's get it. So if I type A, let's get it. If I type T, let's get it. So whatever I type there, let's get it. So this is input box, right? This is input box. So what's the ID here? It's product search. So let's get the product search, and whatever is there on the product search, there is a method called val. It gives you the value, whatever has been typed. Okay, now what do we call it? Let's call it search key or something. Yeah, right? And now you go ahead and print now console.log. This is what I got. Okay, from search box. What did I get it? Search key. So dot val will give you whatever has been entered here, value of this one. Okay, that's it. Let's take a look at it now. This is what I got. Look at it. So look at it, look at it, look at it. That's how we get it. So we are getting whatever has been typed. Now we get one step. I mean, this is no big deal. We know this, okay, from the previous classes. But now we have to use jQuery's AJAX functionality to call that particular URL. What is the URL? What is the URL? Well, the URL is ajax/search.json, right? This is the URL, and then we need to pass the key equal to whatever has been typed. So this is whatever I highlighted here is what we got from here, right? So what we will do is, so this is the URL, and there is in jQuery there is a method called getJSON. There is a method called getJSON. This get method, get is nothing but HTTP get. GetJSON meaning, hey, please go to this URL and give me the JSON in the JavaScript object format, whatever it gives, okay? Convert that into JSON object and give it to me. And it's a HTTP get. You're saying, I'm doing a HTTP get here, not post. You have a post JSON method too. If you want to post some data as a JSON format to that particular URL. But here in this case, we're doing a HTTP get. Okay, the first argument here is the URL that you're posting to. What's the URL that you're posting? This is your URL, right? And if you have any data, you pass your data here, okay? And then the third argument is a callback function, meaning it will take this URL and it will take the data, okay? So we need, first let's construct the data. So first construct the data. What is data here? Data is nothing but key equal to whatever the value that's been typed in the search box, right? So what we'll do is, let's construct this data. Should again be in the JSON format. So every JavaScript object will have this curly braces, and within that your key will be in the double quotes. So what's your key here? Key equal to value, key equal to value, key equal to value. So here in this case, this key happens to be your key itself, and then your colon, and then what's this value? The value is nothing but whatever you got it from the search box. Now, this is what we need to send to this URL. To this URL, we need to send it. And your jQuery is going to automatically do a query string. It will automatically put the query string, question mark, key equal to whatever you got it here. It's going to do it automatically. You don't have to do it. You just pass as a second argument here. So this getJSON method has 3 arguments. I mean, there are several different flavors of getJSON, but one of the flavors is the first one, it takes the URL. The second one, it takes the data. If you don't have the data, then ignore this guy. Directly go to the third argument, okay? And the third argument is the callback function. The third argument is going to be the callback function. And this callback function is going to give you the response data. Whatever server has given you, it is going to give you that. And then whatever you want to do it. That's it. Let's understand this little deep. There is a method in JavaScript called getJSON. Every JavaScript method will be called with $, whatever the method, right? So $.getJSON, there is a method called getJSON. It takes 3 arguments. The first one is the URL, where you want to go to, and second argument is, do you want to pass any data to that URL as part of that HTTP get? This get is for HTTP get. So under the hood, it is doing a HTTP get to this URL with this data, and this data you give as a JavaScript object. It is going to take every key value pair and it's going to construct a query string. What's a query string? We all know query string. Your URL question mark key equal to value and key 2 equal to value 2 and key 3 equal to value 3. You know that. This is where we spent months, right? So a JavaScript is going to do that. You don't have to do it. So that's you just give your data as your JavaScript object with the key and values, and it's going to construct it. It's going to take this URL. It's going to append that key and values as a query string. It knows all of that. And the third one is once it calls this URL with this particular data, it would have responded with some data, right? It would have responded with some data like that, right? This data, once it responded, it is going to call back. That's why this is called callback function. This is why I spent time early on talking about the callback function. So it is going to call this particular function, and you write what you want to do once you get the response back. And what is that response data? This is your server responded with this response data, and this response data will be given to your callback function, and you do whatever you want to do it. You take the data out of it, you take the array here, you take this array here, and then put it nicely in your search, or whatever you want to do it. I don't care, but this function will be called back. That's why it's called callback function. Now with this data, now I got this data, right? Now I'm going to generate some HTML, and I'm going to put that HTML in some div here. So here, look at it. This is your search box. I'm going to create a div right here. I'm just going to create a div right here, but that div is going to be an empty div. Okay. I'll do a break here so that it actually, come on. Okay. So once you type here, I want a div here, and this is where I want to paint that HTML. Okay. Now I'm going to put a div here. Div ID equal to search results, right? Search results probably. That's it. And here I'm going to provide. So this is what this HTML, this inner HTML is what I'm going to dynamically construct and put it here. Whatever that one is, I may do it using unordered list or ordered list. I may do it using some anchor tags. Whatever you want to do it, I don't care, right? So we'll just put it here. Let's do it. Everybody's getting it? Let me do a quick check here. Is everyone following so far? Yeah.
Listening at least. I mean, like, I'll take some time to really, go home and practice.
I agree. I'm like any other class, right? But are we
Yeah,
are we following it, the concept wise?
Yeah, perhaps so.
Okay. Wonderful. So now what I'm going to do is that I'm constructing a dynamic HTML here. So once I get the response back, what I want to do here is that I'll do search results HTML. Okay. I'll do an empty string. I'll start with an empty string because I'm going to take from this response data. Okay. So how does the response data look? Response data is looking like this. This is the JavaScript object that I'm going to get it, right? So here I'm going to take this string list. So this object, this total object dot property dot string list property, sorry, dot string list property will give me these individual search results actually. These, now I get this string array. Okay, now I'll get that results array. Okay, now without doing anything, let's why not let's type it first. Forget about the dynamic HTML and all that stuff. First let's type it, console.log and then results equal to results array. Let's do it. I mean, let's do it incrementally, right? So there's no rush. Okay, I refreshed it. Let me refresh one more time and F12. I want to look at the console and then I want to type, oh, look at it. This is what I got from search box A, and the results I got is Android tablet by Samsung, comma, Apple Watch, comma, Apple Watch Pro, comma, Apple Watch Gold, comma, Apple Watch New. Now I'll type AN. Oh, as I type AN, this is what I got from search box. AN, I got it, and sent it to server, and server gave me Android tablet by Samsung. Okay, I'll take out again. Once I take out N, again it went to server with just A, and I got the results Android tablet by Samsung. Now let me do AP. Oh, when I say AP, I just keep typing. That's it. So every single keystroke, it's going to server and getting it. Apple Watch, right? Look at it. Every single keystroke, it's going to server, getting the data, and then printing it here. I don't want to print it here. Rather, I want to show it here, right? Let's do it. That's the fun. So I don't want console logs. I don't want this console log too. Okay. Now, this is an array, right? So we need to loop through all the elements of the array. So there is an Java jQuery function called each. There is a jQuery method called each. So here, the first argument, it takes the array. Okay. And then the second one is a function, callback function. So here, it's going to give you index for each of this array, and then also it's going to give you each element, each value inside this results array. Let's say value, and then it's going to call you. Let's observe this method here for a second. We got this array here, right? So like how, if you get this is like your list of strings in Java. If you get the list of strings in Java, you write code like this, right? For string value colon results array. You do it like this, right? Right? And then within that, you can do whatever you want to do it, right? Very similar to this one, there is a method called each. This is used when you want to iterate through bunch of elements of an array and you want to get handle to as it iterates through the array of elements. For each time it goes through. So let's say results array has 10 elements, then this function will be called 10 times. You give this array, you are asking it to loop through it, and each time you are asking it to call you back each time, and it is giving you two pieces of information here. One is index, meaning it starts with 0, it gives you the index like results array. First time it gives 0, second time it gives 1, second time third time it gives 2, etc. And then also it gives you value, like here. Each time it gives you value, right? It gives you value. Getting it? Now, if you want to do a simple console log here, you can do to understand here, right? You can say index equal to index and value equal to whatever the value. Let's take a look at it. Let's refresh it. So when I do A here, index equal to 0, value equal to Android tablet by Samsung. Index equal to 1, value equal to Apple Watch. Index equal to 2, value equal to Apple Watch Pro. 3 equal to Apple Watch Gold. 4 equal to Apple Watch New. And then type one more time, AN. When you do AN, you got index equal to 0. So you only got 1 this time, and the value is Android tablet by Samsung. So this is your for each loop, Java's for each loop. Simple. Each time you will not only get the value like in Java, but you'll also get the index starting from 0. Simple. Now, each time you get it, so you are essentially looping through all the elements of the results that you got it from the server. It is as simple as that. So each single time, what I want to do is that, so I want to do, how do I want to display now? Let's display it as an ordered list. So in that case, what we'll do is, let's start creating an ordered list here. Okay, like OL. And then for each element, each result that I got it from from server, I create an LI here. Sorry, I create an LI, and then after all the elements are done, I'm just going to close. I'm just going to close my OL here, ordered list. I'm going to close it. Now here, search results. I want to add list item, whatever the value that I got it. That's it. Did you understand? What I'm doing here is I'm doing OL, meaning ordered list, and then if there are 10 items and I'm doing 10 times list item. I didn't close this guy. Let me close it like that. So I'm doing this LI 10 times, as many number of times as I got it here, right? So I got all of this. So finally, I'm getting my dynamic HTML. So if I get 100 results here, and I'm going to display 100 LIs within all of this is going to be done within OL, ordered list, right? And then finally, what do I do? What is the final step? Once I get the dynamic HTML, what do I have to do? Once I get the dynamic HTML, what do I do here? I have to put the dynamic HTML where? Within this div, right? All of you agree? This is where we wanted to show, right? So all I do here is that once I get the dynamic HTML, now let's get an object with the search results dot. I'll use HTML function. There is a HTML method, and it will take whatever that HTML is. Simple. I'm writing the HTML here. Writing the HTML. Write the HTML. Write the final HTML into div, into search results div, right? Search results div, like that. Did everyone follow what we did here? You want me to explain one more time? Everyone followed?
Can you explain one more time, please?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, Madhavi, let's talk, right? Let's talk, right? So here, did you understand that there is an empty div here? I want to put my dynamic HTML here. Once I get the search results from the server, I want to display like an ordered list here. right? And I am building that dynamic HTML. So as soon as I receive the results, from the results, dot string list property, because this is how my JSON is looking. Dot string list will give me this array here, right? Now I'm getting that array. Now I got the array here. Now I'm looping through this array using this for each or each method, which is equivalent to Java's for each. So in this each, for within this array, for each element within this array, this function will be called. And I'm putting some dynamic HTML because each one of them, let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, right? I'm building an LI here. I'm building a dynamic HTML here. That's what I'm doing here, right? I'm doing a list item here with this value that I got it. So if results array has 100 items, then I would have looped through this 100 times. So I would have had 100 list items there. And I'm finally closing this OL that I started with. So I'm putting all of this. This is like your string buffer, like string builder. That's the right way. String builder. String builder dot append. This is appending. String builder started with OL, and I'm dot append, dot append, dot append, dot append 100 times. I'm doing it, and then finally dot append. I'm closing that OL. And finally, whatever the string builder contains all the HTML, right? Now, using this HTML method, I'm saying that, hey, change your HTML. This is like your inner HTML. I'm putting all of this new HTML here. Madhavi, did you understand now?
Yes.
I don't mind explaining one more time. Anyone? Uma, Jyoti, Shovan, everyone. Yuri, Antina, all good? Okay. So good. Now let's take a look at it, how it looks, right? Yeah, I mean, programming wise, it's simple. It's just that the syntax, right? I mean, we did this 1,000 times in Java, right? It's just a new syntax here. Okay, look at it. As soon as I typed A, I got Android tablet by Samsung, Apple Watch Pro. Let me type. See it here? As soon as this is W is lowercase, right? Those three are gone now. Each time it's going to the server, each keystroke, as soon as I'm done typing and key up, that function will be called. It's going to the server, getting the results and repainting that guy. I want you to understand that. Watch, gold, see that? As soon as I enter G here, so as soon as I erased that guy, it went to the server and got two results and painted it. This is a list item here. This is a list item here. How am I getting 1 and 2? Because this is an ordered list, right? As soon as I put G here, it went to the server. Server gave only one result and I just painted it. So there is a div here and I'm adding this newly created HTML to that particular div. It's as simple as that. On the same page, everyone?
Same as Google search.
What is that?
Means if we search in Google, then this is the same thing, right?
Exactly. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. So how about I? Oh, by the way, when I give nothing here, it gave everything. There are 10 items. And then as soon as I type S here, it went to the server and server gave one result and then it painted there. Just that part that we constructed that new ordered list and list item, we got that. Now, if you don't like ordered list, you can do an unordered list and you can take a look at it and how it looks. But your data is same, right? Nope, it did not refresh fully. Okay, so this is how your unordered unordered list. Boy, I'm having hard time pronouncing that. Unordered list looks. Unordered list will give you those dots. Ordered list will give you 1, 2, 3, 4s. These bullets. Unordered list will give you that bullets, right? Apple, Android. See, AN. Then server gave only one result, and then how about S? Gave one. How about I? It gave just two. iPad and iPhone. There are only. See that? As soon as I type A here, IP gave two results. As soon as I type A here, as soon as I type A there, then server gave only one result and we repainted. Every single time we are repainting this guy here, meaning this div is getting repainted. Whatever we have here, it's an empty div, right? So go to elements, body, div, container, search results. Look at this div here. Look at this div here. Observe that guy there. Observe this guy here. Now, as soon as I type A, it's this UL is getting repainted. Look at it. This is what we are building. Yeah, maybe earlier you guys asked me to explain one more time. Look at it. This is what we are building here. This is what we are building each time for each element there. We are building this li here. Li, whatever the value that we got from server and closing li. Is this not what we are building here? And then before that, we had this ul, which is this one time ul and one time ul here outside the for loop, and this is your for loop. This is your for each function or for each method, right? And then for each one of them, we are doing li, which is, and then finally once we get the total ul, all of this html, we are doing it. Hey, give me the div, and then dot html, meaning this div's inner html we are putting there, which is making browser to repaint that particular div. Make sense, everybody?
Venkat,
Yeah.
if we select iPad, so does it fill with fill in the box?
Oh, you mean if you select it? Yeah, you have to do a little more work for that. We'll try, but we have to do a little more work for that. We're only painting at this point, right? Because ideally, what we want to do is we want to make them as anchor tags rather than list items here. Ideally, we want to make them bunch of anchor tags here, and then as soon as we click on it, we have to fill it, right? We have to write the JavaScript for that, right? Shailaja?
Yes. So
We did not do that yet.
Are these bullets are coming by default, or did you
No,
mention
li is giving that.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay, fine.
Now, actually, in li also, there is a class called I believe list unstyled. There is a bootstrap class called list-unstyled. Okay, if you give that class, if you give that class, look at it. So you don't have it now, right?
Yeah.
So now this is even better, probably.
Yeah, we don't want bullets or no.
Right. I agree. Need to drop. Okay. So how do we do this one? Now I see here there is some gap here. There is some gap here between this one and this one, right? So let's take a look at it. This div, I'm just thinking about So this whole div started here, right? Div ID style equal to border color, let's say red. It didn't do. It's because probably the border width, maybe 1 pix. No. Let's look at it. We can do. Let's work on it in a few minutes. First, let's finish it up. Okay. Anyways, let's finish this guy up first. Oh, by the way, all of my look at it, how the server is filled. I want to show you this one here, right? The server side console. Look at it. As soon as I click I, search key went to the server. P, now it went to the server. As soon as I do that, it again goes there. iPad, or let's say iPhone. Look at it. Okay, every single keystroke is going to the server. What I want to do now is that let's not do the LIs. Let's do a simple anchor tags, right? Let's do simple anchor tags. So let's not do UL, no unordered list or ordered list. So let's not do this guy. All we do is let's start with a simple anchor tag. Anchor. Let's do href equal to hash. Okay. And then let's close the anchor tag. So whatever you do it, right? I think you got the idea. Whatever you do it here will be produced here dynamically. Hey, look at it. Ooh, look at it. With the A, you got this result: Android, tablet by Samsung, Apple Watch, all of this. So we don't have a break here. So after each one of them, let's do a break. Okay. Now let's do it. Oh, no, did not refresh. Did not get refreshed. Yep. Look at it. Android tablet by Samsung, Apple Watch Pro. But now, hey, it looks better now, right? It looks better now, right? Whatever we were talking about earlier, iPad, yeah, it looks much better now. Pragmatic programmer. Oh, there is a typo there, right? Pragmatic programmer, PRA. Search controller, it looks definitely better. PRA. That's it. Yep, pragmatic programmer. So Samsung Galaxy Tab 5, now what we have to do is once we click on this guy, see here, once I click on this Android tablet, your box should be filled with this one. That is what Sailaja was asking for, right? So for that, what we have to do is these are all anchor tags. Let's take a look at it. View page source. You don't need to. F12. So these are all anchor tags, right? Anchor tag, break. Remember we gave break here? Anchor tag, break, anchor tag, break, anchor tag, break, like that. So what we need to do is we need to on click, we need to do that, right? Once we click on it, we need to populate the search box with whatever has been selected, right? So for that, what we will do is let's go to JavaScript. First, let's do this one. We have this index, right? Okay, let's use this index because we need to know once this anchor tag is collected, what we will do is whatever the value of that particular anchor tag, we will populate into this one, right? So what we'll do is in this anchor tag, let's do an on click. Okay, once you click on that, once you click on that anchor tag, let's say copy into search box, right? Something like that, right? And then, okay, so let's give a function, let's write a function called copy into search box. Function copy into search box, right? Now, where do we want to put it here? Oh, first of all, this function has to take the ID, right? Hey, give me the index value. Give me the index, and then every anchor tag should have an ID there. Every anchor tag should have an ID that my function should be able to get it. Are you guys getting it? Every anchor tag, my approach to this problem is that every anchor tag, let's provide an ID here. Let's do an ID here. Okay, once you click on it, I need this whole ID, or I need to be able to construct that ID and say that, hey, give me the value of that anchor tag, and I take it and put it into the text box. Very simple. The idea is simple, right? So first for that, copy into search box. What I'll take is, I'll take the index, whatever. You just pass me the index, right? Now, using the index, I should be able to construct the ID of that anchor tag. But first of all, we have to build that ID, right? So what we will do is, let's build that ID. So let's say var ID of anchor tag equal to, I'll say search result underscore this index. This index could be 0, 1, whatever that one is, right? So this is going to be my ID. So for the first anchor tag, let's say how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, right? So 0 to 9. So this guy will have an ID of search result underscore 0. This guy will have an ID of search result underscore 1. This guy will have search result underscore 2, search result underscore 3, search result underscore 4, etc., etc. Did you get the idea? Now I need to put that ID somewhere here. ID equal to, I'll do ID like that. Okay. Probably I'll put that ID in a single quotes and then space on click. Did everyone understand that? Forget about this copy, forget about this on click. First, let's whatever the change that we made, let's go ahead and look at it in the developer dev console. Let's take a look at here. Dev search results. Look at it. The search results, I have this iPad. iPad has this anchor tag, has ID search result underscore 0, search result underscore 1, search result underscore 2, search result underscore 3. Are you getting the idea now? Once you click on it, I will pass this ID into this one. I will pass this ID into this one, and I'll take that ID, get the value of that guy, and then populate into this one.
Venkat, can't we use that direct value? Actually, it is creating the link right with the value.
Here we have to do this here, right? I mean, we can do this here. We can do
ID also we need to use like this too, right?
I didn't get you, Celia.
No, actually, We need to use that ID too, right?
Exactly. So when you click on this JavaScript function, right, I need to know what element this function comes from, right? Are you with me?
Yeah, I got that.
Who clicked on it?
Yeah.
Meaning, where did I get this JavaScript function from? Who triggered this event? Simple. Either you can pass this or you can pass this ID here. You pass me that ID, okay? You pass me that ID like that. Like that. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Now, let's take a look at, let's rewrite this guy and see, let's take a look at it. Where is this guy? See here, copy into search box. I'm passing this ID here. Search result underscore 0, search result underscore 1, search result underscore 2. Are you getting it?
Yes.
Now, what we will do here is that we can pass this ID here. Okay. Now you can call whatever this one is. Now, tell me what I have to do here now. Now, first get the in
Value.
jQuery, exactly. I'll get this guy. Dynamically, I get this ID here, right? Dot val will give me, oh, sorry, value method will give me the value, right? Variable. Selected anchor tag value. Understand? Console.log. Everyone understanding it? There's one more way you can do it also, but this is one way. So once you click on it, let's do a console here. Once you click on it, E. What is it? Uncaught error, syntax error, unrecognized expression. Okay. It gave me the ID. So do we have a value for this one, or let's do an ID? Let's build an ID here, right? I mean, jQuery where jQuery ID equal to this guy hash plus ID. How do we do that? Yeah, hash search result underscore blah, right? Yeah, I think that makes sense. Now we'll pass this guy into this one. This one is actually text. Anchor tag does not have val. This is a text. Let's take a look at it, and we can use the console also for that guy. Okay. So let's do this guy. jQuery ID, right? This is how we do it, and we want this to be dynamically populated. Oops, are we populating this guy here? Okay, let's take a look at it. First of all, console.log ID. Okay, and then jQuery ID console.log. I'll pass this guy also. I mean, let's do until this part. We have, let's do it. Okay. Oh, look at that. It's actually, when you say ID, am I getting the whole thing? We are passing the whole elements. What are you passing to me? Oh. This one should be in single quotes. That's why it's actually passing the whole object with the ID. So this guy should be in single quotes. I'm sorry, here. This guy should be in single quotes like that. And now let's take a look at it. Okay, let's rebuild guy. Where is my console? Oh, unexpected token. Syntax error where? Let's go to source, unexpected token. What do you mean? Oh, here? Maybe there is a problem here. Oh, there are all sort of double quotes, single quotes, etc. Right? So what we want to do probably is and escape the double quotes. We can put it as in double quotes, and then we have a single quote here, and then we have a single quote here, and then we have an escape the single quote like that. There is an when you have too many double quotes, single quotes like that, then you can escape it like in Java. Very good. So now we got the search result _0 and now hash search result. Very good, very good, very good, very good. Now, hey, we got the selected anchor tag value also. Now we got the selected anchor tag value. So I got this value of this guy, whatever has been selected. All I have to do now is, what do I have to do? Anyone? Anyone? All I have to do is get this text box ID. What is this text box? Is product search, right? Dot product search, and now populate the value into it, whatever the selected anchor tag value. That's it. Simple. Let's save this guy. Let's repopulate. iPhone, click on iPhone. Okay. Oh, maybe it did not refresh. E. Okay, what's happening? Source. Ajax.js, do we have that guy? Yeah. Oh, hash is missing. Hash is missing here, right? ID. Give me the element with the ID product search and populate whatever I'm passing here, change the value, right? jQuery here. Yep, very simple. Very simple, very simple, very simple. Understand? Okay. That's it. Did everyone follow? I know this one took more time than the actual functionality. That's a different story. Yep. So we can, if you want to do Apple Watch new, then you can populate it. You can, simple, right? And then just enter here. Once you enter it, Once you enter, the real search happens then. It will take all of this and then go into the search. This is only search suggestions, like from our products, right? Make sense? And also, see here, if you don't have anything, it's giving everything, right? Does it make sense to populate? Maybe we have 1 million products in on the server side. Do we want to display all 1 million products here? Maybe it does not make sense, right? So in that case, what we want to do is probably, if this is blank, then don't even go to the server. You know what I'm saying? So once you get the search key here, right? If search key, meaning whatever has been entered here, if it's if it's empty, then don't go to server, just do return. But before returning, what you can do is that before returning, you can empty this whole div. You can just say that, what is the div here? Write the final HTML. You just do with double quotes like this. You know what I'm saying here? If user did not enter anything, do not go to server. Rather, just empty the HTML in the div, in the search results div. Make sense, guys? Everybody? That's it. Now look at it. Now I'm erasing it. I'm not going even to the server. I'm just deleting that div. That's all. I'm just making that HTML just blank HTML. See here, Bill. See, if I don't have anything, I'm not loading the whole 1 million things from the server and populating it. Once you start typing, then I will go to server, get the data, and then populate all that information. Make sense? Okay, that's about Ajax functionality of jQuery. You can use it. You can use it anywhere. You can use it for searching our products for our eShop application. Also, I would recommend that for your customer, when you create a new customer, right? Username and password, as he types it, as he types the username, go to server. If the username already exists, then immediately pop a message saying that, hey, sorry, this username has already been taken. Please use something else. Make sense? Does it help? Everyone followed today?
Yes.
Was it complex? I mean, I know you have to go practice it a little bit. I myself had to do it. Trust me. I myself had to do it because I don't do this every single day. Okay? But this is one of those things I wanted to do it. I wanted to teach for some time. So, I hope that helps. Okay. And you may be wondering, what is really going on the server side? How is he getting this JSON here? Then you need to understand the simple method. Actually, here I'm populating here, right? But rather we actually go to database and get the results. As every key is typed, we actually go to the database and populate all the products and then send it across to the browser. That's what we do it as a JSON. Okay, to get the JSON, you need to understand this content negotiation view resolver, etc. Okay, so that is actually part of the RESTful web services, so which I asked you to watch it. Please go here and then I believe this is here. Please watch this video, RESTful web services, and then on Sunday come back. Please watch it before and come back. And what we will do is what we will do is we will do the search functionality on the server side. We'll go to the database and get the search results. And then also we will do one more for probably the username exists. We can do weather. You can do any number of things. Okay? But I'm going to show you one more example in the bigger picture, like the whole eShop. So I expect all of you to watch this video and come, because I'm not going to cover it again. Rather, we'll look at the example so that it's more clear. Come with some idea and come with questions. We'll do it. Okay.
Venkat, I got something to discuss.
Yeah, that's fine. 1 second.
Yeah.
First of all,
Sure.
from
Whenever
this
you're
point
done.
of view onwards, everything is clear? Everyone?
Yeah, I mean, probably so. I mean, like, I'll just have to. I was a little off mood today. I mean, I have to really see it on my own and discover. So.
I agree. It's just, I know definitely takes time. I'm telling you, I myself took time, did some homework. Like most of the Java stuff, I don't have to do. I just walk in and do it. But it's this one, I don't do it on a day-to-day basis. So I had to look at the syntax and yep. Just familiarize yourself with the syntax. That's all. And then understand jQuery methods. Okay? So that's what we will do on Sunday. We'll look at one more example and look at the eShop and understand, one more RESTful web service. We'll do it together, but not the theory, but I want to do an example. So I expect all of you, I request all of you to watch it and come so that we can better utilize, we can do one more in the bigger picture, how, it all makes sense. Whatever we did, we'll use it in the actual eShop. That's all I'm saying. Okay? We'll load this from database and all that stuff. I'm checking in this Ajax right now. Okay, you can go ahead and check this in. You can check this out.
Ajax or Ajax 2015.
Oh, I just called it Ajax. Sorry. That's fine.
No problem. We will take it. No problem.
Okay.
Ajax is good because the previous batch there is no Ajax.
Exactly. I never taught for the last not several, but for the last 4 or 5 classes, I've never taught the in-depth in-depth CSS, in-depth JavaScript, jQuery. I never taught Ajax, never taught. All of this is new thing. How do I do that each batch? By offloading some stuff on you guys. So that's how. Okay. Shravan, you wanted to show?
10 years down the line, you won't have to teach anything. You can only tell them to watch the tapes, right?
No, it's.
I'm just joking, actually.
I know. It's. All the core stuff. I do it, right?
Yeah.
It's
No,
that,
you teach very well. There's no question of that.
yeah.
So much thing in such a short time. Right. I don't think anybody teaches that deeply anywhere.
Because people are expecting. People are expecting jQuery, people are expecting Ajax, and my students have struggled. That's why I wanted to take time and cover all of these topics. That's what I did. I believe I told you guys on day 1 too that I would do it, right? So that's my intention. Okay, so yeah, go ahead, Shravan. You wanted to show something?
Actually, no, not show. It's just a verbal questions. Few.
Sure.
Actually, one thing is, did you discuss about the homework that you said we would do, because I missed some portions of the tape.
Right.
Portions of hearing. Is that on the tape today? I didn't hear it. Then I can get it from there.
No, we did not talk about that project, right?
Yeah, that project, yeah.
No, project we did not discuss whole lot. Let me actually stop the recording, I believe, right?
Okay. No, keep it on the recording. The project we can also. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. One, we did not know what the project is. Okay.
Okay.
And number two, I want you guys to take the ownership. At least a couple of you do meet every single day. And what I will do from my side is that I will extend the go-to meeting so that it's a easy collaboration tool for all of you. I'm going to renew it for one more month. But after 1 month, if you really need it, don't worry, I'll do it. Okay, no worries there. And number two, I'll make myself available for anytime you just. But all of you just meet, coordinate, and say, hey, let's call Venkat on this day. So I'll call me, and I'll come and keep my role as a mentor. Don't involve me directly. I'm not. I'm not the direct team member. Is what I wanted to say.
Yeah. So for the project, then what I will do, or we will do, I'm saying, is let us basically browse through some of the applications that are there in the internet, and we will make something like that with our own pictures, own style.
Sure. Come with some ideas, and then I'll help you with the things like, hey, what do you need? Well, you need GitHub. Even GitHub also. See, earlier I tried doing myself, right? Rather, I'll bring one of you and say that, hey, this is what you need to do it. Rather than me taking the ownership, I'm passing the ownership to you guys, but I'm making you the administrator. Let's say, Shovan, I'll make you the administrator, and then you give permission to everybody because it's going to be open source project anyway. And then you work on it. Okay, you guys collaborate. Hey, you may ask like, hey, Venkat, we are running into this issue. Like, how do we collaborate? Okay, I may suggest use this tool to collaborate. Or what kind of approach you want us to take it? Okay, I'll say jump in and say, hey, use this approach. And then finally, any roadblocks, I'm always there. So once you build the project, now you say that, hey, it's working locally, but we want to deploy it somewhere. Then I'll pitch in again and say that, hey, there is a Amazon Web Services, and I'm going to probably take your WAR file and do it myself in Amazon Web Services. I can show it to you guys how we do it in Amazon Web Services, how we install the database, how we install Tomcat. It's all actually, if you have an Amazon account, if you never did AWS console, Amazon Web Services account, it's a first account for 1 year. It's free, so you can spin a small Linux server with MySQL and Tomcat and with JDK7. It's all free actually. So you can do it in probably with my help. You can do it in an hour or 2 hours. We can do it. And finally, there is a website out there. You go to GoDaddy or some other site and say that register yourself, and that's live. You can put it in your resume too, and saying that, hey, a couple of us.
Okay, what is GoDaddy? I didn't get that. Is
GoDaddy
something that we should model upon?
It's a domain name, domain servers, right? I have my Java Venkat here, right? So I have a bunch of this PHP based WordPress site, right? So this is deployed in GoDaddy servers, but we want to deploy it in Amazon Web Services, right?
Okay.
I don't know whether Amazon Web Services will provide domain names. I don't know that. AWS domain. I don't know, register your domain name. Oh, Amazon provides that too. Register your domain name. If you haven't already done so, register, meaning if you're doing kayak.com, if you're doing something like, sharemypain.com, like your suggestion the other day, right?
Yeah.
Shareyourpain.com. Let's say you need a website, you need to register that name, right?
Yeah.
That's what I meant by domain name. This is your website name.
Okay, then so what you are saying is to really create the specification, we will be responsible for that.
Right, everything you will be responsible. Okay. But what I want to do is forget about what we do on Amazon Web Services, domain name, all of that. Okay, you gather as a team, build a website using all the technologies that we learned so far, and make it work on your machines. And I will help you take it to the next level, and I'll help you mold that as a real website that's deployed somewhere. Is that fair?
Yeah, that's fair. That's what we want actually. That live experience we don't have.
Exactly.
So okay, that's fine. So that's as far as this thing is concerned, the project is concerned. Now the questions that I are rather.
Sure.
See, yeah, in MVC Spring MVC 1, there was one question about dynamic URL. That question was well answered, Sailaja's question. But I have one question. I don't know, maybe it's covered in Spring MVC 2. That is, how we have not really dealt with the cookie issue for a long time.
Right.
The cookie drop, the conversation between the browser and the servlet. So that one in the Spring MVC world, we have not dealt with that. Is that all naturally taken care of? Or
yes.
What?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Every time you do a request.get session, or in Spring MVC, your HTTP session will be given to you. So every time you do request.get session, so under the hood, your server will create a new session ID and send it back to the browser as a set cookie. And then from the second request onwards, your browser will send that cookie to keep the conversation going.
Okay, so we have to do that, right? In the wired, see, after the
absolutely
the auto wire examples, we did not really do that. So we still have that responsibility, and that can be done in the same manner, right?
Absolutely, it's everything is same. But the only one point I think I mentioned in Spring MVC 2 or 3 somewhere, that you don't have to do a HTTP servlet request dot get session. You just say that you need HTTP session. Your Spring MVC is smart enough to automatically call it and give you that.
So you have covered that in the present.
Look at it. Look at it here. I actually check out controller. I said HTTP session. I need HTTP session. So under the hood, Spring MVC is doing request.get session and passing that HTTP session to you. When Spring MVC did request.get session, under the hood session ID gets created and sends back, set cookie, all of that HTTP header, everything. It's the same servlet API.
Okay, so it should be there in 2, in Spring MVC 2, I think. It should
probably.
Okay.
I don't remember 2 or 3 years.
No problem. So that's fine. So that's fine. Another thing is in Spring MVC JSP calling web controller, but earlier we didn't. Okay. So in Spring MVC, we saw that JSP was the one who was making a call to those web controllers, like the hello controller and all those things, login controller, all those things.
Sure.
Now, earlier on, we saw HTML forms making calls to the servlets.
Right.
So earlier on, there was no question of JSP calling a servlet or anything. But is that at all possible, or
that JSP is actually providing a dynamic HTML which has that URL, right? Your JSP produces
that slash login, yeah.
Your JSP produces HTML, so it's essentially same. Your JSP produces dynamic HTML, but your HTML is static. So it's the same, Sean. It's the same concept.
Same concept, okay.
Exactly same concept. It's just that your JSP will provide, dynamism to your HTML. That's all.
Okay, no problem. Another question that probably nobody asked, I'm asking, that is, the slash hello question mark query blah blah blah, the query string.
Right.
That's going from the JSP. I'm sorry, going from the browser.
Yep.
And it's really being eventually not directly, indirectly, it's being carried to the web controller, right?
You got it. Yep.
Okay. Now, what I'm saying is this: since it routes through the front controller, which is a servlet,
dispatcher servlet. Yep.
Yeah. Dispatcher servlet. Is it possible to intercept that message within the front controller?
Is it possible to intercept it within the front controller?
With get parameter? Request.get parameter kind of
let me do it. Let me answer your question in a couple of different ways. That's an excellent question, actually, for a couple of different reasons. So here, in your Spring MVC, in your method, right, you just take HTTP servlet request here, right? Okay?
Yeah.
You just do a request. So if you want to get those
requests, please don't modify this, huh?
I will not. I'll not check in. Okay, no worries.
That's fine.
So if at all you want the complete HTTP servlet request, like in your traditional servlet days, your Spring MVC will provide you the complete HTTP servlet request. So you absolutely can do it. Request.get parameter name, question mark name will give you the name.
Mhm.
Okay.
Right. No problem.
And then request.get parameter city, and city will give you the from query string. You can get all of this information shown. Okay. You can definitely get it, but you don't need to, because in Spring MVC there is another way of at request param. Okay. This is name. You just do a name here. That's it. And then
No. That part is clear. Oh, there's no question about that. I was asking something else, but I remembered that this question is absurd. See, I was asking whether the front controller can see it.
I'm not done yet. Okay. Let's so you can absolutely get handle to HTTP servlet request, okay, this way, or you can get the request parameter. Now your front controller is a servlet, and in fact your front controller behind the scenes is doing like this: request.get parameter of name, request.get parameter of city, and then passing on to you. So your front controller is getting it like any other servlet. It is getting it and passing to you as a web controller. But now I don't know whether you asked it knowingly or unknowingly.
I realized that I made a mistake in the question, because the front controller here does not even exist as a servlet, as a Java program for me. It's inside that
Spring
Java
MVC.
file, right?
Spring MVC is giving it to you.
Giving it to me, yeah.
But your question, either knowingly or unknowingly, it's deeper than that. Okay. So when a request comes from the browser, your dispatcher server takes the control, right? That's acting as a front controller, and then from there it actually delegates to one of the web controllers, right?
Correct.
You can tap onto it. You can let me draw it here. It's an excellent point. So from browser to the dispatcher servlet here, right? Okay. If at all you need this dispatcher servlet, as you said, we don't have control on this. Control meaning, maybe that's a wrong way of saying it. This is provided by Spring MVC and we don't have to deal with it, right? But if at all you need to, the point that you are asking is if you want to intercept somewhere here, okay, before it actually forwards to the dispatcher servlet, okay, can I intercept the whole request before it actually goes to dispatcher server? Or can I intercept after dispatcher server did whatever this one is, can I intercept it? So yes, absolutely. Here you can use something called servlet filters. There is a concept called servlet filters. So servlet filters they will give you control before it actually hits the servlet. Okay. So your browser is making a call, and then your servlet will take it. Dispatcher servlet or any other servlet, it doesn't matter, right? So your servlet filter, actually there is something called request filter. So here, before the request is given to the servlet, you can get hold on to that guy and then do something low level if you want to do it. So let's say that I want to provide security for my whole application, okay, in a seamless way, without having any of the web controllers know anything about the security. In that case, what you can do is you can use the servlet filters and the get handle here, and then you can put some security controls. Understanding? Hello? Oh.
Sorry, I had muted myself.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
that's okay. That's a special thing, value-added thing. I better not concern myself for now
Yeah, for
because
now,
of
but
constraints of time. Yeah.
yeah, it's don't worry about this one. But I'm just
Right.
saying, since you said, can I intercept the request? It just came to my mind. There is a concept called servlet filters. Okay,
Uh-huh.
it's a great concept.
No, I had what slipped my attention
But
was
why
we don't have
did
one second, Madhavi, one second, Madhavi. What slipped my attention was servlet in this case, the front controller or the delegate was that dispatcher servlet. In this case, it's not within our control, but that fact slipped my mind. That's why this question came up. But so the
But
question doesn't arise.
I took it. That's why I'm
I
saying
see.
whether you knowingly or unknowingly, this is a deeper question, and you can talk about servlet filter one whole class.
Okay, okay.
But
Okay, no,
you don't have to worry about it. Don't worry about
okay.
it. But there is a servlet filters. Once you become developer lead and next level, right? So then
That's not happening anyway,
you
so
yeah, I'm sure it will happen. Okay, so across the board, if you have 1,000 servlets and you want to tap onto this guy and you want to write a servlet, these are more powerful features. Okay, that senior people
okay.
typically write it. Either your architect
Okay.
or whoever that one is.
Mhm.
Anyways,
Okay,
so
Madhavi, sorry about that. Please go ahead.
Madhavi, go ahead.
Yeah, it needed servlet filters.
Sorry, I did not understand the question.
We can't hear you.
Can you repeat the question?
I think she's talking, but we can't hear her.
Madhavi, I think you're on mute.
Why needed servlet filters?
Why we need servlet filters?
Yes.
Okay, so servlet filters, if you want to, when a request comes from the browser, before a servlet is taken, before a servlet takes the request, if you ever want to inspect it before it gives to the servlet, or once your servlet responds back to the browser, once the response is constructed before it flushes out to the browser, if you want to get handle to that. In the perfect example would be, if you want to provide security, you have only 1,000 servlets in your application, and you want to provide before any request before any request is taken by any of the servlets, you want to tap onto it. You want to do some authentication and authorization. In that case, you'll use servlet filters. Or once all of these thousand servlets respond back with the response, you want to zip the response before you flush it out on the network. Okay, and in that case also you will use something called response filters, or request filters and response filters, so you can use in that case.
Okay. Thank you.
There is a nice book, but I really don't want you to pay attention. I knew Showan did not ask this one, but probably I was over enthusiastic about it. So, but I wanted to say there is a concept called servlet filters. Go read about it, but not now. This is nowhere near the mainstream. Okay, this is later. Once you get decent experience, once you do decent, applications, spend your career for a couple of years, and then come back and probably, learn these things, these more advanced concepts. So don't worry about it. I thought he asked something like that, but anyways.
Thanks anyway. Actually, we got a premium by by hearing about it.
No problem, sir.
Venkat,
Yeah.
I have one question in web services. So for web service, so actually I did not see any port configuration in consumer, a web service consumer. So actually I have what I'm actually, if there is a production and quality, so I want to use the production system data at that time. How do I configure that production system data? Port. How do I configure that port, or do I set any default port for that?
will typically do is you can, there are a couple of approaches actually. You have something called endpoint URL, right?
Yes.
So this endpoint URL is environment specific. You have your dev will have one endpoint URL, QA will have one endpoint URL, production
Yes.
will have one endpoint URL. So you typically put it in a properties file, and every environment will have a one properties file, and you load those properties and pass it dynamically to your endpoint URL, which will configure your port.
Okay. So that while loading, it was it will configure that port name, right?
Yes, exactly.
Oh.
And that typically we don't hard code it. We don't read it from WSDL or anything like that. We configure it. Okay, we typically read that from properties file, and every environment will have one properties file. So
Yeah, got it. Yeah.
that's how we configure it.
Oh, okay, that's fine. And one more thing, I tried to open the REST client. So can you tell me which one is the correct jar file for that? I used one jar file. That is the REST client 3.2. Is it correct one?
You're talking about the REST client plugin, right?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Don't know the new version. I don't know. We can take a look.
3.5. Actually, I tried three of versions, but I did not get anything work properly.
Use this Google Chrome plugin. This is even better, Sailaja. I'm not sure what I have used, because this RESTful web service is sometime back I taught it. Probably in the next class I can talk about this newer version. I can look at mine, but there is a Google Chrome plugin,
Yeah,
and then
I've seen that method.
this is better. And then there is come on, give me a break. Advanced REST client. Okay, there is a RESTlet, I believe. There is something called RESTlet. Wait. RESTlet named cool vendor. Nope. Products. Nope. No. REST client, and then REST client. We have it, and there is one more. I'm not getting it. Nope. REST client seems to be the most one. Oh, there is a Postman. Yeah, you have tool called Postman. Here also you can use it. I hope it does.
Oh, okay, that's fine, Venkat. Yeah,
Yeah.
I will search that.
Yep.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
No problem. Next is Leonard. I know you've been waiting for some time, so can I go ahead and turn off the recording, or you want me to keep the recording on? Leonard, you know better.
For me, it's okay.
Okay. Okay, let me stop the recording. Anybody has any questions? Generic questions without anybody? Okay.
Sorry, what's it?
No, anybody has any generic questions that I can record?
No.
Or okay. That's all we have. Let me stop recording.